Right, you saw that. New AS Roma kit, Spinazzola behind it. Because we want Spinazzola back. He's a very important player. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go through over Mourinho's press conference on the match against Sassuolo, which will be played tomorrow night at the Stadio Olimpico of Rome. Very important match because Napoli won earlier today against the Juventus. Tomorrow there'll be a very, very interesting match between AC Milan and Lazio. And if that ends as a draw, then Roma need to win. Because if Milan and Lazio both get 1 point, then it means that Napoli and Roma, if Roma wins, are on top of the Serie A after 3 game weeks. So tomorrow is a very important match, but we need to follow our chronological steps before getting to tomorrow's match. Let me remind you before getting into this live stream that there will be a watch along tomorrow at 8:45 Italian time, 7:45 British time. Wherever you're watching from, calculate the time difference and come on the Simon Show for Roma against Sassuolo watch along. It will be a very crazy match and we'll have fun. We'll chat all together and hopefully we'll grab the 3 points. But before getting to that match, there is Mourinho and his press conference tonight. Mourinho talked at 3 o'clock Italian time this afternoon, and I'm here with this live stream perfectly giving you guys an analysis, a reaction of Mourinho's press conference. I'm going to translate some direct quotes, and then at the end of each bunch of quotes, I'm going to give my reaction and my analysis to it. But before we get into this live stream, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and also like target. Let's go with 20 likes by the end of this live stream before it becomes a video. Would be absolutely amazing. But without further ado, let's get and start with the first question that journalists asked Mourinho. And the first question is a very interesting question. They asked Mourinho, is Zaniolo still missing steps to return to 100%? Now, before we getting onto this onto the juice of this press conference analysis, let me just warn you that there are some great news. Because earlier this week, I said that Mancini, Pellegrini and Zaniolo were not 100% fit. And that Pellegrini and Mancini in my predicted 11 yesterday wouldn't have started this match. Now, according to Mourinho, they're fine, as you will see in this press conference translation. They're perfectly fine. And according to Mourinho, all them 3 will start tomorrow, which is absolute incredible news for Roma. So that is incredible news. And now let's get on to this analysis. So the first question the journalist asked Mourinho is Zaniolo still missing steps to return to 100%? Because he asked Mancini if he could leave the Italian national team earlier. And Mourinho said, does it remind you... is Zaniolo... Sorry, let's just restart. The first question journalist asked Mourinho was, is Zaniolo still missing steps to return to 100%? And does it remind you of any other players you have coached in the past? And Mourinho said this: the comparison must be made with the Nicolo of 2 years ago. He is certainly a much more mature boy. There is still a lot of leeway given his young age. He has to learn many things that come with experience. He's learning well. He's a professional guy. When I arrived, I had read about a not serious guy. Nothing could be more false. Our relationship is fantastic. I am happy with him. A comparison, there are no other players like that. Now, this last sentence, there are no other players like that, really puts to mind Mourinho's faith for Nicolo Zaniolo. Because, as you probably heard, Mourinho said that when he first came to Roma, he expected Zaniolo as a non-professional guy. He's still a young lad. And there's this famous scene which happened with him and Moise Kean, now a Juventus attacker, when they were both in an Italian national team in the Italian national team training ground. They started spitting to every other players on, like, Zaniolo and Keane were both standing on the 5th level of this building. Like, let's imagine this Italian national team building. And from the 5th floor, they were spitting onto other players. And I mean physically spitting because they thought that was fun. Now, if you present yourself like this to a manager like Mourinho, obviously Mourinho doesn't have great expectations. But Mourinho said that nothing of this is true, you know. That happened many years back, a few years back, and Zaniolo wasn't mature enough to think of what he was doing. He's a grown player. He's a professional player. He's a wonderful talent. And Mourinho physically said that without Zaniolo, and we've seen this with Fonseca and other managers, Roma is 100% weaker. So Zaniolo and Mourinho are building one of those bonds, you know. That's my terminology. You like the word bonds. They're starting to build this collab, and Mourinho is really starting to understand the fact that Zaniolo's talent and Zaniolo's potentials, which he could bring to Roma, could make this team improve things by 20 times. Because with Fonseca, obviously Zaniolo missed the majority of the season because of his ACL injuries. And not having Zaniolo brought to Roma in a Europa Conference League spot. Now, if Zaniolo was playing the majority of the season, I probably think Roma would have gotten in a Europa League spot at least, and not fighting until the last game week for a Europa Conference League spot, which then Roma barely got against Sassuolo, which they're playing on Sunday. So this is the first thing that journalists asked Mourinho. How is Zaniolo, and is Zaniolo an important player to you? And now the second question journalists asked Mourinho is about two other players, and it is what is the situation of Pellegrini and his renewal, and did you expect this impact from Abraham? And Mourinho said this: with each passing day, the renewal is getting closer. Everything is going in the right direction. He really wants to stay. He wants to be part of this project. At the beginning, I had to get to know the players, both from a group and an individual point of view. Pellegrini is our captain, and he will be our captain for many years. Mancini the second captain, and Cristante is the third. Abraham, I was expecting a good impact. He's a boy from London who has to yet settle in. Normally, young Londoners take a while to break away. However, he has established excellent relations with everyone. Now, Mourinho is giving us an understanding of what is actually going on in Roma's training ground, you know. Or these players living a life outside of the pitch altogether? Do they love each other? Do they ever hang out? Do they ever go out for dinner together? And that's a very important thing. That's something many football fans exclude, you know. Dinner out, I pay, we get a pizza and that's it. But that means a lot, because it means that these players are building a brotherhood, are building a relationship even outside the most important location of their life, a football stadium. And this is extremely important. And now Mourinho said this. Abraham landed in Rome, became a new Roma player less than a month ago, and he's already hanging out with players which are probably Italian players, which my guess is Pellegrini, Zaniolo, Cristante and Mancini. They are the Italian lads of this bunch. And Abraham is an Englishman, a young boy, coming from London in his first experience outside of his country. These four Italian lads are making him know the city, or making him eating the traditional plates here in Italy. And that is such an important thing, which I think a lot of us exclude. Now, starting with Pellegrini, Mourinho said that the renewal between Pellegrini and Roma and the extension of his contract is going to be done this week or next week in maximum levels. It's done. Pellegrini wants to stay. And I've said this in many live streams. Pellegrini wants to be the future of this club. He wants to be the new Francesco Totti. He's number 7 now. But if Pellegrini performs, if Pellegrini literally has the potentials and shows everyone the potentials of potentially becoming the new Francesco Totti, I do not exclude the fact getting the number 10 and putting him at the back of his shirt. Because I think he's a perfect number 10 and he is very similar to Totti the way he plays. Now, Pellegrini had an incredible debut in the Serie A, but in the Europa Conference League as well, bagging a goal in Turkey against Trabzonspor. And he wants to stay, and he is going to extend his contract for the next couple of years. However, to be the new Francesco Totti and to be the new flag of this city, of this club, of this entire nation, you could say, Pellegrini will have to refuse many top offers. And this, I'd be very curious to see if Pellegrini will actually have the balls to do this. Because, Totti refused the move to Real Madrid, where he probably would have won a Champions League, definitely La Liga, but most important of all, he would have probably won a Ballon d'Or if he moved from Roma to Real Madrid. But his heart said, no, I'm staying in Rome. I want to be the new Roma captain. I'm going to become Roma's best top scorer. Pellegrini wants to do this. But to do this, he will have to refuse a lot of big offers, just like Francesco Totti. Because if he keeps on performing like this summer, but even in January, I do expect big clubs reaching out for Pellegrini. So the most important thing to get out of the Pellegrini topic in this press conference is that his renewal, his extension of his contract is basically done. It will come this week. In worst cases, it will come in a couple of weeks. But it's really, really close. And now Abraham, as I said, he said, I was expecting a good impact. So Mourinho already knew about Abraham, right? He asked for Abraham. Abraham got to Mourinho. Abraham at first wasn't even convinced to play for Roma. But then Mourinho gave him a call, it's me, Jose Mourinho. And Abraham now is the heart of Roma fans, Have you seen Abraham against Fiorentina, against Salernitana, all the fans cheering? And he just played 2 matches. And tomorrow, it's going to be his 3rd match. So I would expect great stuff. Back at the Olimpico, he wants to find his first AS Roma goal at the Stadio Olimpico in front of Roma fans. So he said he's a boy from London who has to yet settle in. Normally young Londoners take a while to break away. However, he has already established excellent relations with everyone. And this makes me so happy. Now, the third question journalists asked Mourinho is, you often remember the strength of numbers. Has the gap between Roma and other teams like Juventus and Inter decreased? This is very interesting, and I'm ready to read this out because we're actually going to see if Mourinho believes in this club and if Mourinho really believes that this club is a Juventus level, AC Milan level, Napoli level, Inter Milan player a level. Roma has the potentials of being at these levels, but the problem is that in these last years, Roma did not show this to us. So Mourinho came to Roma, and the main goal for Mourinho is to win something, to get the passion of this club back to Roma fans, and to make every football fan who's interested, whose idea of a Serie A pops in his mind. Imagine 2 people having a chat, and one of them throws out the word Serie A. At this stage, right now, if someone says Serie A to someone who's not used to the Serie A, the other guy goes Juventus, Milan, and AC Milan and Inter Milan, right? Because they're the 3 top clubs. Mourinho's main goal is that if this conversation happens between 2 people, as well as Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan, AS Roma pops up in their minds. And Mourinho wants every single football fan, and I don't care where these football AS Roma fans are watching from, they are going to know the big part of Roma. And so he said this: we played 2 games with a few more points than last year. It doesn't mean anything. We don't have to look at others, but only at ourselves. In January, maybe we'll see what we have done and where the others are. Right now, we don't have to think about anything other than the next game and win it. Allegri said that the results are important, and I agree with it 100%. We are different from other teams who have very definitive ambitions and goals. Obviously, we are happy with that we have done so far, but we must remain calm. And this is very important because I think up to now, Roma hasn't played many matches. They played 2 in the Serie A and 2 in the Europa Conference League with a dead team like Trabzonspor. But up to now, they've been great and they've been top class. They've probably been one of the best clubs in the Serie A so far. But the problem is that Roma fans are famous for this. It's too early to say Roma will win the Champions League. Roma will win the Serie A. Roma is way better than Juventus. Roma will batter Juventus this season. It is too early. And Mourinho said this. Look at the last sentence he said. Obviously, we are happy with what we've done, but we must remain calm. And that is the slogan, the main moral of today's live stream. We must remain calm, because we do not have to think about the match against Lazio the 26th of September. We gotta think about Sassuolo first. And after Sassuolo, we gotta think about Verona. After Verona, we gotta think about Udinese. And after Udinese, we think about Lazio. We gotta go step by step. And, you know, I always compare a football season, AS Roma's season, with a stair, right? To build a good stair, or whatever you wanna call it, to build a good bridge, you need good engineers, right? Because if you don't have good engineers, the stair or the bridge will collapse. And up to now, Roma bought a great engineer like Jose Mourinho, who plans everything. Roma have got many workers in this example because of the many top players they have. But to build the step, you have to think about, you can't, start this stairway and already think about the last step you put. You gotta brick by brick. And this is exactly the same, match by match. There will be occasions where Roma lose matches. But the mindset of these players is, okay, I lost this match. Now I gotta step backwards, I gotta improve. I gotta show everyone that I'm gonna bounce back. So this is what Mourinho said. We have to remain calm. Now, a very interesting thing is that Mourinho said, I agree with Allegri. And obviously Allegri is Juventus' manager. And Jose Mourinho and Juventus are like this, Jose Mourinho and Juventus hate each other. Mourinhistas here might remember that. Okay? So, that was interesting. But he played that, Mourinho said, We've played so little matches. We're not even a quarter of this through the season. It's too early to say this club will win something. It's too early to say Roma is the best club in this area. We need time, we need patience, and we all need to remain calm. Starting from tomorrow, 8:45, Italian time, 7:45 UK time. Come over to the Simon Show. There will be Roma against Sassuolo watch along, and it'll be great. Right, and then another thing journalists asked about Mourinho is, have you thought about a turnover? Now, this is something they've been asking everywhere, in every press conference. Have you thought about a turnover? And Mourinho said, I haven't thought about turnover yet. We have many games to play in a short time, but I have not thought about the other matches. Only the one tomorrow against Sassuolo. And this just puts to mind the example I gave you. We gotta think step by step. When you have good players in the same role, it is not turnover, but option. Karsdorp or Reynolds, Ibanez can do it as a fullback too. He did it in preseason and has shown it he can do it. Now, this thing, Karsdorp or Reynolds, and then Ibanez can do it as a fullback too, is giving me the impression that Mourinho's not convinced by Reynolds. And to be fair, I'm not as well. Mourinho needs to get Reynolds, sit down with Reynolds, and have a psychological lesson with Reynolds. Because he's a young lad coming from a completely different part of the world. He needs to improve. But Reynolds to improve needs to work hard and will have chances. But in the chances Mourinho will give Reynolds, he has to perform. He has to show us everything. So the fact that he said Karsdorp or Reynolds, Ibanez, means that Mourinho will barely play Reynolds because he's not confident of Reynolds. Karsdorp as well. If there will be some occasions where Roma need to think about defending rather than attacking, right? So I don't exclude in those matches Mourinho not playing Reynolds or Karsdorp, but playing another centre back as a right back like Ibanez to be more defensive, because Ibanez has been absolutely insane. He has been great. He's been defending well, so I wouldn't exclude that. But up to now, all we know is that Mourinho wants to play with his top players. He wants to win every single match. However, starting from Thursday, the match in the Europa Conference League against CSKA Sofia, I would definitely start Diawara, maybe Darboy. I definitely start Borja Mayoral in that match. So he will have to play some weak players. And I know it's not something Mourinho loves doing, but he will have to do it, because otherwise players and their legs will explode. Because Roma players are not those players which play every single match, and I know them very well. So we have to expect some turnover, even if Mourinho is not keen of it. And then the second to last question is, you had asked for bench experience. Do you think you can find it in available players? Do you think you can find it in the available players? We all agree with this company. At this moment, experience cannot be bought. It is built, and we can build it in the players we have, even in the youngest players like Bove, Calafiori or Darboy. Obviously, if we compare our squad with others, there is a significant difference. But I don't want to talk it because I trust my players. We'll see what happens in January. Now, Mourinho wants a new player, and this player is a new defensive midfielder. Like, we understood this. Mourinho is asking for a new defensive midfielder. So he said that there is a big difference between Napoli's players, Juventus' players, and Roma's player. You know, Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and many clubs in the Premier League are rich clubs. Roma is not a rich club. And in fact, to prove this, Mourinho said, at this stage, there is a great difference between our players and rich clubs' players, right? But I don't care about this, because I trust my players, even the youngest ones, even Bove, Calafiori and Darboy. He gave a special mention to them because these three players are young players, and they need to understand that Mourinho has faith in them, right? And they will have many chances, Europa Conference League especially. So they need to be physically, mentally and psychologically ready for the chances Mourinho will give them. And just like this, in my opinion, Roma can grow even more. Just like this, Roma can, at the end of the season, maybe in January as well, compare top clubs. Because top clubs have money, but AS Roma have Mourinho, who has faith in every single player. From the player who sits on the far right of the bench for every single match, to Tammy Abraham playing as a striker at every single match. And this is the most important thing, because in my opinion, football is not made by money, PSG. Football is made by fans and is made by the manager and the players, especially by the manager having faith in his players. Not by money, not by buying Messi, Mbappe, Neymar and everyone else. Because if I was PSG's manager right now, I would probably be able to win a Champions League as well. And this is why Mourinho is the best manager. He could have gone to Real Madrid. He could have gone to PSG if Pochettino wasn't confirmed. He chose a new challenge. And he chose this new challenge to prove everyone that football and Mourinho himself is the best manager. Because if he wants to prove everyone that he is the best manager, he has to show everyone that he can win a Roma as well, who's not a rich club. And this will be very curious to see if Mourinho wins any trophies. And now the last question, that the most important part of this press conference, the part which made me go like that, is how would you define the Roma fans in one word? Mourinho got asked. How would you define the Roma fans in one word? And Mourinho said, passionate. Easy. This guy just builds and creates my momentum because we love him. We are one of the most passionate fan bases out there. There aren't many clubs out there which have such good fans. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Roma fan, but everyone here, I don't care if you're a Real Madrid fan, if you're a Lazio fan in here, you have to admit that Roma fans are the most passionate, and Mourinho understood this in the first month of his new AS Roma career. Now, this is something very, very curious, because this was basically it, right? This was the translation using direct quotes and my reaction, my analysis to Mourinho's press conference for the match against Sassuolo. Now, like the last question, imagine I was a journalist and every single one of you guys in here was Jose Mourinho, and I asked you guys, How would you define Simon from the Simon Show in one word? Over to you. I'm going to wait here a couple of minutes, and all you guys need to do is define me, describe me using one word only. That's a big challenge, and I'm very curious to read all of your words. Do it right now, please. In fact, I'm gonna respond to some comments in the meantime. Welcome, Seya Dole watching from Norfolk, Virginia in the USA. David Nkweba is saying, I'm asking for a Roma jersey. Roma jerseys. Spinazzola on the back. Who are you gonna get if you get one, mate? Welcome, Gabriel Studios. Make sure you settle and enjoy your weekend while you're watching this live stream. You're absolutely right. Who will be better in the next 2 years, Chiesa or Zaniolo? Zaniolo has more potential. Chiesa has more talent, in my opinion. Watching from South Africa, welcome. Watching from the USA, Pellegrini is a great captain and perfect example and role model in Francesco Totti, one of the greatest ever and most loyal too. Yep, score prediction for tomorrow. I think it will be a tough match, but I'm going 1-0 Roma. I think it will be a very tough match, but I'm going 1-0. Exactly, that's what I love about Jose. He actually takes on challenges and lifts clubs to glory, and now he's at home in Rome. Yep. Right, let's read some of your words, shall we? Stephen Kobe Ozedadsi, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, daring. Lorenzo P, the GOAT, you legend. I'm watching from Spain. Welcome, Evi Aydun. Eddie Pegas is saying Simon in one word, passionate. Efoza Isaac or was is saying Simon is a passionate Roma fan and a great up and coming YouTuber. Lads, your words are making me so emotional in a way. Thank you so much. I want more of them. More people in it. There are quite a fair amount of people in it. So everyone here, please, one word to describe me. Just like imagine you were Mourinho right now and the journalist asked you, how would you describe the Roma fan base in one word? But just remodel that, and how would you describe Simon from the Simon Show in one word? I've got passionate. We've got the GOAT, daring, smart. I want more. Right, also, I said my score prediction, right? 1-0 Roma. I think it will be a tough match because Sassuolo is an experienced team which caused a lot of troubles to Roma in these last years, which would definitely park the bus like Salernitana. So I think it will be hard for Roma to score. Now, just like the match against Salernitana, it could go in two ways. Roma could even batter them, or Roma will have a lot of difficulties. But I'm positive vibes, and I am going to say 1-0 to Roma. Tammy to score in front of the Roma fan bases. Elite, thanks mate. Becky Sibluane, Lorenzo P. Simon, what's your opinion on Joe Mama? No, sorry. Who is it? Are you supposed to say Joe Mama? Who is Joe? You're probably gonna write Joe Mama now. Evan Iden is saying the greatest of all time. Thanks, lads. You are all legends. I wanna cry right now. No, I'm brave. I won't cry. Amir Bai saying Roma legend. Fortunate. Chinedu is saying unique. By the way, new people here. Look at that. Spinazzola. Where is it? There we go. Spinazzola. Right, just imagine Roma with Spinazzola back. This team would be absolutely insane. Right, I've said my analysis, my reaction to Mourinho's press conference for Sassuolo. Any new people which joined the live stream, this live stream will become a video, so you can go and rewatch it, share with your friends and family. Eddie Pegas is saying 2-0, both Tammy and Shimorodov to play. Now that, you know what? Now that Mourinho said that Pellegrini, Zaniolo, and Mancini all playing, I would exclude Shomurodov playing, because I wasn't expecting Pellegrini and Zaniolo to play, to be fair. Actually, I did say Zaniolo in my predicted 11. I wasn't expecting Pellegrini, so that means the three attacking midfielders are going to be the usual ones. 3-1, 2-0. Right, I'm going to close this live stream. You are all legends because those words wanted to make me cry. If you're new here, you have to subscribe. I am the only, actually we are the only channel out there, the biggest AS Roma fan-based channel as an English language over on YouTube. So if you want an opportunity to follow this club, and you have to, because if you're a Mourinho fan, you gotta follow Mourinho wherever he goes, but Roma as well, because if one day, unfortunately, Mourinho will get sacked, the AS Roma community needs to continue. The AS Roma legacy needs to move forwards. So yeah, it'll be very curious to see if Roma win anything this season, but the best way to know is to subscribe to The Simon Show. As I repeat, if you don't speak Italian, you will only find me on YouTube as an AS Roma channel. Also like this video as soon as it becomes a video. Like this live stream as soon as it becomes a video. We hit the 20 like target. You are all legends. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Set a reminder, everyone, because Roma Sassuolo watch along, you do not want to miss it. Okay? You do not want to miss that live watch along. It will be very, very curious to see. And yeah, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Good night and take care. Simon out. Also, follow me on Instagram down below. Lower score The Simon Show. Right, I'm out. Bye.